Hello everybody.
Hi everybody.
We are Jill and Ramy with twinflamehealers.com, and we are here today to do a video to really help out in these current times, in this global situation we've got going on right now. So we're going to give you our perspective of what we see is happening at the energy level, the opportunities that we have now for doing some deeper healing and clearing for ourselves as well as humanity, and give you an additional resource for healing. We're going to be doing a free call, and the link to that is down in the description of the video. This video and the call are not just for Twin Flames, it's for everybody, so please feel free to pass it on to anyone you think might benefit, because we do see this as a time that we can do a lot. We can do a lot of healing. We can do a lot for ourselves as well as humanity. So let's take this opportunity and do it. So we are going to be doing healing also on this video at the end, so stay with us. We'll start with Ramy doing a clearing, an initial clearing for us, and then we'll dive in with you.
So part of what happens with us in these times, for a lot of people, they go into a major fear. For some of us, they say, no big deal and so on. But the energies can still affect us, whether we're conscious of it or not. So I'm going to do a tiny bit of clearing regarding that now. And as Jill said, we'll do more later in this call, in this video. So connect with your heart center. And depending on your beliefs, you can choose to ask that for energies to come into there. So Christ, for example, or Krishna, or Maitreya Buddha, for example, Buddha of compassion. We're non-denominational, so you take in what fits for you. Now, there's a bunch of fear in our lower chakras, so the grounding and so forth. There's tons of fear and terror, people feeling they're going to die, their business is going to go under, and etc., lose their jobs, they don't have enough money to feed my kids, and so on. So there's collective energies that we're connected to at the first chakra level. So first of all, let's ask to clear a little bit of our own that we may or may not be conscious of. So Lords of Karma, Archangel Michael are wonderful for that. So if you're okay with that, ask for them. If you're not sure, just experiment a little bit and see if it works for you or not. And let's ask for them to clear the collective energies around us. As we clear away some of the fear, it's easier to go into our heart energy, right? Otherwise, that our lower centers, the more primitive parts of us, dominate our lives. And then as we're off base and freak out, that affects our kids and other people around us, rather than us reassuring them, let's do what we need to do. We protect ourselves and we use it as opportunity. Connect with your heart center more fully.
All right, so when we first started to tune in about this situation, the very first thing that we saw was like the gates of the shadow got open. So think of the first chakra of Earth is just getting a shakedown right now. Our security is out the window temporarily. Our known worlds have disappeared. Things are shutting down, and it's just kind of like humanity has gone into this collective shock, as well as Ramy mentioned, this fear and terror. So for those of you who are sensitive, which is likely everybody watching this, you're going to be feeling this collectively. So as the old saying goes, crisis is opportunity. So as this stuff gets, think of it being buried, now it's out, we can work with it. So it's actually an incredible opportunity. Now, of course, on the 3D level, we need to protect ourselves and other people, be safe, etc. We're talking about energies. We're talking about how to use energies and how to work with the energies to heal. It is really shaking us to our very foundation. So think of all your lower chakras are getting activated. So we're going to be helping you heal in this call a little bit, in the video a little bit, and in the call more. So this really go time for our lower chakras. It also resonates with like the Old Testament times, right? The plagues and locusts and all of that. It's very much that feeling of God, however you want to say, as destroyer. So Shiva or the Old Testament God or whatever. It's really a time when it's like, boom, we're experiencing that, and we'll do some healing for that aspect. So a lot of us are feeling small, terrified. Our egos are very activated. It's like our egos thought they had the hands on the steering wheel, and all of a sudden that got ripped away from us. So this feeling of being in control is gone too. So again, it's very scary and very activating, but it's also very, very powerful in terms of opportunity for healing. Just seeing what else I need to say. So think of terror on various levels being activated as well. So terror at the DNA level, terror from past lives when we've gone through things like plagues and locusts and all of that, other pandemics. So we have some cellular memory, we also have past life memory. So all of that's up. So think of it as there's all of this raw material up to work with, and it's go time. And we'll talk more about how you can work with it, but that's just kind of the overview of how we see things, that this is an incredible opportunity as all of this fear is going on to really go more into connection with our higher selves, spirit, and heal more deeply.
So part of the issue is if you think in terms of like people are different in terms of how they feel things and so on. So you can think of highly sensitive people. They're built in such a way that they experience when they're stressed in the air and the environment, they feel it more. When they have a small reaction inside of them, they feel it more. And as Jill said, that this is a lot of you. So the goal is for us to be in awareness of these things and help transmute them within ourselves and more broadly, rather than to let them take over our lives, which can easily happen. So we go inward, we would do our cocooning thing and so on, and I'm okay. I'm solid, I protect myself. As the saying goes, you trust in God and tie your camel, right? To do both. So it's really interesting what's happening is the way our world has been operating is that the yang side, the male energy, has been really dominant in terms of not within males, of course, and within females as well, doing work out there and bringing home the buffalo, right? Getting the pay, and I'm really busy and I got to do all these things and so on. So a lot of that is yang. The part of us that would go in deeply and quietly and calmly inwards and commune with the wiser part of us, we don't have time for that for a lot of us. They don't got no time, I'm busy. So think of it of this time where we have to sit. For some of you have no choice by law, right? So that makes it even more yikesy, right? They don't got no control now. So think of this as a time to go inward into the small, quiet voice that we all have. So we're going to kind of help you to connect with that a little bit more in a few minutes. So one of the things that happens as we go into yikesy times, our ways of coping can end up not working anymore. So I cope by getting busy and by taking action and so on, or by buying a beer or 5 beers and whatever it is. But then the liquor store is shut down now. I can't go to the bar now, and or I can't go to the piano lessons or the bingo hall or to church because it's all shut down. Right? No groups are allowed to congregate. So far, not the whole world, but it's for a lot of parts of the world, and it's probably going to increase more. So we have to go inward within ourselves. So think in terms of these energies. They can come out in us. We have all this energy, and I don't know what to do with it. And if we don't deal with it wisely, it accumulates and compresses, and all of a sudden we can lash out towards our loved ones because we're terrified. Oh my God, what's the matter with you, right? So we need to heal that for ourselves, and our kids, of course, can act those energies out. right? They can start bouncing off walls. They're busy staying at home, and they've been going to school, they've been doing all these things. Now here they are around you all the time, so you drive each other nuts. So for some places you might not even feel comfortable with their going outside. So there's a lot of compressed energy. So dealing with that at the energetic level in terms of giving the kids activities and so forth is really important. So the only thing I want to say before we go back to Jill is that she mentioned the Old Testament God or Shiva and so on. Think of it as we can, there's not even consciously, but we could experience God or the universe or spirit as being dangerous. There's no safe refuge for me. For me to go into going into silence, there's all these scary things. I've been taking medication, I've been taking booze, I've been doing all kinds of stuff to avoid those things. And now we all have to sit. Oh my God, right? So terror of ourselves. And for some of us, we've been through major difficulties in childhood, and we've been suppressing that in various ways. So these fears our underlying fears are resonating with the fears out there, coming up to the surface, as Jill said. So think of it as opportunity. We handle these things wisely. We'll help you with some of that in this video, a little bit of it, and we'll do more in our upcoming call very shortly. So that's all.
Okay. So another great opportunity is when the outer world falls apart. As Rami said, we're forced to go within. Many of us do not have this baseline strong connection with our divine self, with our soul. We try to run life through our ego or through our mind. That's really not as much of an option anymore. So in some ways, we can look at the divine intervention aspect as well of whatever's happening out there. We can judge it as good or bad. It's clearly scary. But putting that aside, what's the inner task that is asked of me? And one of them for us is connecting more with spirit, connecting more with God, with the divine. And as Rami said, as the masculine side is getting more shut down, it really gives our feminine side an opportunity to come forward. Our heart, our belly, the more tender, vulnerable parts of us. And it's an opportunity to upgrade, and we'll be doing that in just a minute or two here in the call, that feminine side of us as well as the masculine, and hold our inner child ourselves. So those of you watching this who are twin flames, you're well aware of the aspect of your world falling apart, and a lot of advanced souls too. This happens to us on Earth. This is kind of how Earth is designed, right? We have these wonderful plans that we stack up, and then the divine knocks them all down, knocks our blocks down, and then we're left with ourselves. We're left with our spirit. So this is a time to really say, you know what? Okay, let's do this. We were doing a group session, a small group healing session a few days ago, and every single person that we were talking to as we were going into our intuitive part of the session and realizing, oh my God, you were built for this. This is your time. So in a sense, this could be the time that a lot of you have been preparing for. For us, certainly, there's an aspect of that. We've had to be professional stump sitters over and over again. Rami does hours of spiritual practice every day, and I was forced into it. I'm the more resistor in the team. So some of you, it's more easy. For those of you like me, I don't want to do it. I had to because of another situation in our life last year. So for many of you, one of my favorite sayings, being dragged kicking and screaming to heaven, that's what's really happening to the planet right now. We're all being dragged, some of us more kicking and screaming than others, into heaven, into our divine, unshakable core. Because the goal of all of this, of the twin flame journey, and we could say of Earth and ascension, is to become this unshakable divine being. So whatever is happening out there, it's okay. We can handle it. So it's developing these divine qualities of power, strength, wisdom. And so it's a great time to assess for ourselves, where am I weak in this? Do I lack power? I better get in my power. Do I lack heart? Do I lack wisdom? And also in the link below, we have our the methods that we use, we teach those because we want to empower you. So if you want more, you can do that. It's called Transforming Blockages, because we're very, very, very interested in helping as many people get into their power, heart, and wisdom as they can. So that's an opportunity for you too. Take this time and heal. Figure out where you're lacking. And in terms of twin flame union, you can do the same thing. Okay, go time. What in me do I need to heal? And the other piece that I'll just mention briefly before we go back to Rami is mission and divine life purpose. This is an amazing time. It's a time to really take stock and do a life review. Like, where am I not living in alignment with my higher self? I want to cry. Like, I can feel this resonates with a lot of you. Like, where have I betrayed my own inner sense of what I'm here on the planet to do? Am I doing a job that's too small for me, or because I'm afraid? I'm afraid to embrace who I really am. Am I not connecting with my twin because I feel unworthy, or they just have said something mean to me and I've shut down and I haven't tried for 2 years or whatever? Assess. This is an amazing time to really turn that light and be kind. Don't be judgmental toward yourself. Be kind and compassionate. There are reasons why we fall apart, right? But it's not a time to go small and hide out. It's a time to be really, or the opportunity is here, to be very powerful with yourself and very compassionate and look at, okay, this is go time. What am I here on the planet to do? This may be my time, because guess what the world is going to need now? The world is going to need people to maintain that calm, shine the light, and help others through this, whatever's going to happen. This may be the time that you've been preparing for. It sure was for the people on our call. And I'll just say this last bit. In terms of helping the collective, as you're sitting at home, we really, really highly encourage you, and that's part of why we're doing this free call, because we're going to be doing some of this with you there, is do some healing and clearing for the collective around you. Because a lot of people don't know how to do this stuff. You guys do, because you're watching this, right? So you have some tools to help assist. Just sitting in your own home, you can do a lot. You can do a lot for the collective. Just imagining the higher energies coming in and clearing out the fear, clearing out the trauma, helping people go into calmness. Just that, you can help an enormous amount. And this might, again, be a time for your divine mission to really get turned up and look at that for yourself.
Okay, so we're going to go into a healing chunk now. And first, it's very clear, right? When in difficult times and at other times too, the more we can say, okay, I trust in God, in the universe, in spirit, and so forth. But at the same time, you tie your camel. So you do the practical things. What do I need to do in terms of practical? What do my kids need? What does my mom need over there? She's living in another part of the world, and so on. What can I do? And then we say, okay, let's go inward and focus on the part of us that can connect with spirit and help to fill us up and reassure us and calm us and so on, regardless of our religious or spiritual background. And even if we don't have one, can imagine just the universe filling us up. So whatever term feels right for you. Okay, so one of the things that's going to happen, maybe for all of us, is that after a while of sitting, it gets extraordinarily boring. Like, what can possibly be more boring than just sitting there, right? After you've watched Netflix or whatever it is, your distractions for a chunk of time, you're done your knitting, and you've knitted 17 pairs of socks, after a while I say, I've had it, I gotta get out of here, right? So, and we can't. So we're being pushed by the universe to just go inward, and whatever parts of us get into really upsets, that to calm them and to go deeper. So we have our inner calmness and our inner peace and our inner healing goes more and more profoundly within us. So let's do some of this now. So there's a variety of ways of doing healing, and we use many different ways so that we can help as many people as possible. We're going to do this here for a little bit. I imagine you have gentle strength in your heart. I'm going to say it a number of times, and then after that I'll use that energy that you're generating within you with this to help you to heal some parts. Okay, so you're focusing on gentle strength in your heart center, your heart chakra, center of your chest. Gentle strength, gentle strength. Feel it, gentle strength, gentle strength, gentle strength. I'll do 2 more. Gentle strength, gentle strength. In the very same way that our kids are really affected by our mood. So if I'm bouncing off walls, and our kids are really affected by that, and they bounce off walls. So the more solid we can be in relation to our kids, or as leaders in terms of our work and so forth, the more calm things can be. So think in terms of within yourself. So I have this calmness within me, and I bring the calmness and the peace and the heart to the lower parts of me. So you can choose to put one hand on your heart center and the other hand on your belly if you want. And imagine this gentle strength going into the lower parts of you, the lower chakras, your whole belly, our inner child freaking out. Take that energy there. Just imagine it going there. As neuroscientists, people who study the brain, how it works, and the interaction between the brain and the body, the way they talk about this is where intention goes, energy flows. So just thinking about this helps it to happen, makes it happen. So for those of you who don't believe in this, just experiment for 10 seconds and see what happens. It's not a question of belief, that's irrelevant. It's a question of experiencing. Think in terms of the ancestral fears, our ancestors going through all kinds of major challenges, and as research shows, those traumas are in our DNA. So let's ask for these energies, the gentle strength and the healing energy. You can connect that with God, with Christ if you want, or Buddha and so on, if you wish. But have those energies go into your cellular level and DNA. If you think of traumas that happened to you in childhood, have that gentle strength, that healing energy go into those parts of you that were traumatized way back when, and you may have shut them down, or you're still really scared a lot of the time. Just have it go to those places and heal, these areas, whether you've been conscious of them or not. Greater peace. Imagine there's a whole bunch of collective consciousness around you. Imagine your heart energy going first to your home and your loved ones and calming for them, clearing the energy around them. It'd be good to do this really regularly. If it works for you, maybe even a few times a day, maybe much more. Go with your intuition and see what feels right for you. And only use the parts of what we say, only use those parts that fit for you. Let go of the rest. So the collective consciousness now, imagine your heart irradiating out, your heart energy and spirit that you're connecting to, if that feels right for you, calming the energies around you for your community. There's some research that's been done on that in terms of we can have really sizable impact. Bring greater calming. So the foundational piece is where, as we said, we're connecting more fully with our inner female, for all of us, whether we're male or female, and less so with our inner male right now, because we can't take charge of anything, right? What are we going to take charge of? We'll go, well, let's go buy more toilet paper, right? So there's
Don't do that.
not a whole lot we can do at this point, except look after the essentials. So let's ask to bring that heart energy, that compassion to your inner male. Think of that as in the right side of your body. So basically what you're doing is pat, pat, pat your inner male. This is time for us to sit and contemplate, and we'll take action later in a way that feels right for us, for me within me, the inner me, right? My inner team. So think of we have an inner male, inner female, inner child, etc., inner critic. So this is a time for us to ponder, go more deeply, become more integrated, and then come out with greater wisdom later, each one of us. So now, imagine that heart energy going into your inner female, your inner mother, your inner lover, etc. Bring calming and reassurance there. And now, have the energy go into your inner child, in your belly. It's all gentle strength, right? Gentle strength going down to my belly. And for those of you who are quite good at beating yourselves up, our inner critic, let's bring the heart energy, compassion to that part of us. And bring all of those parts together as a team. My higher, wiser side, it needs to run the show more these days, but also overall in my life. And how would that look? So this is the time for a life review, of course. Okay, so have this heart energy now go to your loved ones more fully, just a little bit more. Imagine you're connecting with them more at the heart level. This is a good time for you to, do I want to play some games with my kids, or do I want to talk with them about particular kids or my beloved, whether they're with me or not, etc. Make greater peace for you and for them and between you and them.
So before we wrap up, I'll just say, as Rami was talking, I was thinking about the medicine wheel, the circle of the seasons as well. And we can think of this as a collective winter, in a sense, right? Where winter causes us to go within, and it's a time of all that we've been talking about. And then spring is going to come, right? The wheel always turns on Earth. So think of what you might want to create when the world opens up again. What do you want to birth when the renewal time is here? And what needs to go? What needs to be cleared in the way for that to happen? So really looking at also who this also came up. Who have I not forgiven yet this lifetime? Who do I still have a grudge? Who do I still have any karma with? Clean that out. What a great opportunity, because then it's like a time to really purify and clear, so that when the world opens up again, how can you be in it in a way that is more aligned with, yourself, your higher energy, your true self? So clean all that stuff up. What a time to do it, because a lot of people do have the time now. So take this opportunity and do it. And for many of you, this is the time that the world is going to need you more than ever. So don't go small and hide out. You can a little bit, but then really take this opportunity to go higher, to clear, and to get ready for this next phase, because we don't know what Earth's going to look like when we all come out. There might be a whole different skill set needed, and it really could be a time for sensitive souls, advanced souls, indigos. This could be the time when we really can step out more fully. So be prepared, get ready for that. This is a whole new world possibly coming. This is the clean sweep time. So you guys go for it, and we'll be here for you. Our plan is to continue to show up and to assist during these times. We're still crystallizing what form that will be. But for now, we have the healing call. Again, the link is below. That's totally free. Please send it to anybody. And you can join our mailing list on our website, and then you'll get notifications of when we do future events. And just go to our website as well, twinflamehealers.com. We have everything on there. Anything else you want to say?
No.
Okay.
That's all.
So everybody, we know this is there are no words for what's going on right now. We hope this has helped you, and we send you our love, our compassion, and we'll continue to offer what we do to you to help, and we wish you all the very best during these times, and we'll connect with those of you who are going to be on the call with us and other programs. So great to be with you today. Thanks for being with us.
All the best for now.